I have a fun video for you guys today. Earlier this year, I did a video on 5 watches that I sold out of my collection, and a lot of you guys really enjoyed it. I think because it was a video on how I collect and what choices led me to not keep these in my collection. And one of the comments I read in this video was, why don't you do a video on the reverse? Choose watches that you would never sell. And aside from watches that like family or like my loved ones like my wife gave me, I wanted to choose watches that I bought myself and that I would not sell it. So today's a 2-in-1 video. You're gonna get 3 watches I would never sell and what I also think is the best 3 watch collection. So the first watch I'm gonna show you is the watch on my wrist. This is the Seiko SJE093. This is Seiko's first dive watch recreated for 2023. So Seiko's first dive watch came out in 1965. It was designed by Taro Tanaka, who also created Grand Seiko's Grammar of Design. It's not perfect for everyone, but to me, it is pretty damn perfect. So I love the 38mm size. My wrist is about 6.4 inches, so I always need a watch that's a little bit more compact, and I want a watch that doesn't like eat my whole wrist. So this watch fits perfectly at 38mm. It's 200-meter water resistant, screw down crown. It has some of the best lume. The finishing on the indices and the hand is phenomenal. I think what I love most about this watch is the story behind it of how this watch went on different Japanese expeditions to the Arctic, and I love that it's very stealthy. It's very under the radar because most people who see it would just say, oh, it's just a Seiko. Because of that, I've actually taken this watch on several international trips with me where this would be my only watch. It's literally like beach to dinner. Typically, I don't like having a date window on my watches, but for a watch like this where I'm going to take it on vacation or wear it to activity, having the date window is going to be really useful for me. It's funny that I actually use the date more when I'm on vacation than when I'm not on vacation. So 38mm is 12.5 millimeters thick, and a lug-to-lug of 46.7 millimeters, so it fits really well. Sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating on the inner surface. I like that this watch has only 1 layer of AR coating on the inner side, so you don't get any scratching on top of the crystal. It's a gray dial, which I really like. I'm obsessed with the color gray for some reason. The original strap that came with this watch was a black tropic rubber strap in 19mm. I swapped it out, and I'm wearing this gray strap from Strap Habit. It's a tropic strap as well, 19mm with a slight taper. I like the gray on gray look, and it's just easy because I don't really need to swap it out for anything else. The one thing is I do wish this had a nice bracelet, like a bracelet with a taper and a micro adjustment, but I haven't really found one that I really like. So for the most part, I always wear this watch on a strap. It pretty much always matches everything with the gray color. I wouldn't even call this a beater watch, but this is the watch that inspires me to go out and go on an adventure. That's the way I'm thinking about this watch. Now, a question I get asked a lot on this channel is, how do I travel with my belongings? And that's where today's sponsor Nomad Lane comes in. I've been using the Nomad Lane bento bag on all my travels this year, and it's so convenient. And as a watch collector, it was so easy for me to bring my watch rolls hidden in different compartments, and it was well organized, so I never wondered where things were. It opens up like a luggage, which makes it so easy to pack and see where everything is. And there's tons of compartments, so even if you put something important, you know exactly where it is. It also can hold a laptop up to 16 inches. It can fit over a luggage handle. There's a water bottle compartment that can zip away when you don't need it. So convenient. And it also comes with a shoulder strap, but I never use it. I just like that it has a place where it tucks in, so you always have it with you. It also comes with a tech organizer so I can put all my wires, as well as a toiletry bag. And on all my travels, it's the perfect weekender because it looks nice, has this nylon material which is water resistant, it can take a beating, it fit easily under the seat in front of me, or you can throw it into overhead. And I just like that this bag feels like the Swiss Army bag of bags. Now, if you want to get one, you can check out the YouTube shopping link in this video or check out nomadlane.com for more information. And thanks again to Nomad Lane for sponsoring this video. All right, watch number 2 is going to be my dressy watch. And if you saw my short video I did, one of my most worn watches of 2025 is the JLC Reverso dual face in medium size with the classic dial. So if you don't know, JLC or Jaeger-LeCoultre is also known as the watchmaker's watchmaker. I love that this has a rectangular case shape. It's about a 43mm lug to lug. So it's considered the medium size and it wears really compact on my wrist. And it's only around 10mm thick. So despite having a full manual winding movement plus 2 dials, it's still less than 11mm thick on the wrist. But once I put this watch on the Milanese mesh bracelet, bracelet, I pretty much started wearing it daily. Now, usually JLCs are seen as a dressy watch, although its lineage is like the first polo watch. So the whole reason why you would have two sides is originally it would only be one face and the other side would be the steel case back. So as you're playing polo, you could protect the crystal because they weren't using sapphire crystal at the time. Obviously, in modern times, it's way more fun to have two separate dials, which is what they call the duo face. So in my version, the classic dial, the silver or white dial side has Arabic numerals, it has blued steel sword hands, it has nice decoration, like the numerals are easy to read. Time reading is really fast because the numerals are right there. I have a small seconds down at the bottom. And then when I flip it over, I have a totally separate dial. This one has a Clou de Paris design, and then it's all black dial. It actually has lume, which a lot of people don't realize, and it's a dual time. So it's technically a GMT. I've worn this with me to Watches and Wonders. I've worn it with me to weddings where I was traveling out of my time zone. So this is a really nice watch where I can track two time zones. It's very discreet as well. Not a lot of people know about JLC, even though I think a lot of enthusiasts know about it. The general public still doesn't really know about it as much as they would know like Cartier, for example. I love the finishing on this watch as well. Like when you're about to change the watch to the other dial, there's even this nice perlage overlapping pattern on the case back. This one is only 3-bar water resistant. There's no water resistance on this basically, but that's fine for me because I don't really need it. I bought this when my YouTube channel, the one you're watching right now, hit 100,000 subscribers. So this was a subscriber goal watch for myself. I always wanted to buy a JLC, but I didn't really have like a good reason. So I made it like, okay, if I hit 100K on my channel, I'll buy a JLC. And then it's a watch that I'm not scared to wear every day. It's a watch that has plenty of scratches. It's high polished all around. It's manual winding. I like winding it in the morning when I wake up and I gotta wear it, just wind it. It only has like a 42 or 44 hour power reserve, but you know, if you wear a watch every day, it doesn't really matter how long the power reserve is. So this and the Seiko already makes a 2-watch collection, but as promised, I do have a third watch, and I think this is gonna be the most fun watch out of the 3 I'm gonna show you today. This is my Audemars Piguet Royal Oak chronograph in 38 millimeters. It's a 38 millimeter integrated bracelet with 11 millimeter of thickness. It's automatic winding. I mean, it fits amazing on my wrist. It has a gray dial, so it's tone on tone, which I really love. And I am a huge fan of chronographs. So you know I had to put a chronograph in this 3-watch collection. The chronograph can count up to 12 hours, which I love because if you were actually timing something longer, you need at least over an hour. I don't like when chronographs only count up to an hour. The watch is very slim. Because it's an integrated bracelet, I find that going to a smaller size like 38 millimeters helps the watch wear a lot better on my wrist. Obviously, the AP Royal Oak bracelet is stunning. It has beautiful brush finishing with little areas of high polish on the sides, and it has a really nice taper down to the clasp. The watch is actually really comfortable to wear as well. Like the bracelet feels nice and sturdy. It feels really nicely designed. It's even nice to like just run your finger down the bracelet when you feel all the ridges and the detailing. It's also in stainless steel like the other 2 watches. This is the only watch that has gold on it out of the 3 today, because there's white gold indices. It has a screw down crown with 5-bar water resistance, which I always find to kind of be funny because 5-bar is like just barely good enough water resistance, but having the screw down crown does technically make it swimmable if needed. And obviously the design of the Royal Oak is supposed to be like those diving helmets with all the rivets or the screws. So it is supposed to be like a diving portal watch, although it's not really a dive watch at all. The watch also has lume. I think of some funny things about this watch is like there are a few contradictions on this watch. Okay, so first off, there's a date window between 4 and 5, but it's not a 4:30 date window. It's like a 4:45 date window. What I mean is like the date window is like squished all the way down to the 5 o'clock marker. And I think that a lot of people who like really clear symmetry is gonna hate that so much. But for me, I don't care. Like, I don't even care that there's a date window, and I don't care where it is either. Maybe it's just because it's an AP, or maybe because I actually like having the date window on this watch. So I think because of the tone on tone, that it kind of blends in a little bit better and it doesn't really stick out that much to me. The other contradiction is because it's a tone on tone watch, when you actually want to use the chronograph, when you're in like harsh sunlight, it's kind of hard to see the little sub dial at 3 o'clock where it tells you how many minutes have passed by, as well as the 9 o'clock subdial of how many hours have passed by. Can take you like an extra minute when you're really like staring at the watch to figure out the time. But hey, like I don't mind spending more time staring at the dial. I think the watch is beautiful. On the bezel of this watch, there are, yeah, of course, there's 8 of these like rivets, which are perfectly aligned. And you know, people always talk about, oh, AP's bezel is aligned and the Cartier Santos medium bezel is not aligned. But actually, a thing that a lot of people don't know, I know you never handled a AP Royal Oak, because if you flipped over any AP Royal Oak, you would see that on the underside, these screws are not lined up. So basically, these screws are screwed from the back and the top is basically like a bolt. It just is like held in place. So that's why it creates the appearance of lining it up. But it's kind of like virtually impossible to line up screws perfectly every time. And that's why it's only on the case back, where most people don't see it and don't know that, yeah, it's actually misaligned on the back. But that's just a fun little thing. This watch comes in other dials in this size and 38mm. It does also come in a blue dial, but I purposely chose the gray one. And there's 2 reasons. One reason is that one of the watches that I consider to be a grail for me is the Vacheron Constantin Overseas. I think it's referenced 2000V. It's an ultra thin time only overseas. Now this watch was only made in white gold. It launched in 2016 and they are so rare to find. It uses the same case as the perpetual calendar version, except it's time only. So at that time when it came out, that overseas was basically like Vacheron's version of the Royal Oak Jumbo, or the Overseas Jumbo, right? So I've always wanted like a tone-on-tone watch with an integrated bracelet. And I think the second reason why I really like the tone-on-tone is that growing up, I would see my dad wearing his Piaget Polo, which is white gold with a tone-on-tone dial. And so for some reason, that's just like stuck in my brain. I always thought it looked super nice. Like when I would see him wear a suit and he would wear that watch, I'd be like, wow, that's like, you kind of made it, you know, you made it watch. The Grand Tapisserie dial is also really nice. Like there's a lot of depth when you look into the dial. There's a lot of things going on. And I actually prefer this over the 15550 37mm, which is a time only. I prefer having a little bit more going on the dial. And that's why I think, despite it not always being the easiest to read, despite it having a 4:45 date window, I think it's pretty much perfect. This would be like my fun watch if I want to go to a watch meetup and bring something that people usually don't see, then this is like a good choice. And yeah, like at the beginning of this video, I'm never going to sell this AP Royal Oak. Like this is the first AP I've ever had. I had a very specific milestone that's connected to it. The day that I hit that milestone, I actually got a call from the boutique. So I was like, I feel like this is a sign that I have to go and get it. And obviously, if AP calls you, you're not going to say no for the most part. And yeah, these 3 watches together make 3 watches I'll never sell, and what I think is a perfect 3 watch collection. Let me know in the comments what you think of my 3 watch collection I showed you with you today, and what is your ideal 3 watch collection. If you are looking for a watch, my store Carrot & Co is an authorized dealer for many different luxury watch brands in Flushing, New York. If you like videos like these, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.